Good evening to all the Rangers fans all over the world listening in. Good evening and welcome to Rangers Radio.
Did you get that picture today, Bridge?
The picture?
Of Fox in his pyjamas.
Oh, no, I never got that. You going to send it to me?
No, mate, I couldn't send that earlier. I deleted it. You never know, you might lose your phone, Rudy, you know what I mean?
Well, I'll just look through my history now in case you have sent it to us.
No, trust me, I never sent it to anybody.
Was it Fox that sent it out then?
You don't want anybody to see that ox in your phone, are you?
No. But fair enough to him, but the fact that I've got to say, it suits him. And his hair was immaculate as normal, Bridge.
Oh, what can I say?
Anyway, if you see, we've moved a couple of games, surprisingly, for Sky, the Hibs game, and when we won the league at Parkhead, Rudy.
It's not a new thing, is it, Ox? You know,
no.
Unfortunately.
Why don't they just do it at the start of the season and let people plan supporters, buses, supporters? Is that too much to ask, mate? Am I a dinosaur? Tell me.
No, I don't think it is. Unfortunately, television is a huge part of the game nowadays. Know that, Scottish football makes huge amounts of money out of it, but it's a huge part of the game nowadays, Ox, but it is, it's a definite inconvenience. You've got the boys having to plan their trips from Northern Ireland down south, booking buses, booking trains, flights, boats, all sorts of stuff, getting their accommodation booked and all that, and then they could, they sit down in the clubs and they pick out the games that they're going to try and get to, and then the next thing, the date's been moved. And boys have got to get in and ask for time off for work and stuff like that as well, in advance to get there. So it's a huge inconvenience to them. It's a real shame that this happens, but it's been happening for a number of years now.
But the thing about it is, mate, we could pick the fixtures they're going to move. We know them, didn't we?
Yeah,
so do it at the start of the season, get it out there.
Aye, I absolutely agree with you, Ox, totally. I mean, you just need to sit down, you look at the fixtures, beginning of the season, you see the big games, the ones that they're wanting, the ones Sky are interested in, and then you book the night off, you plan your programming appropriately. You say, right, this game here, we've got the Old Firm, and the same goes for the Edinburgh Derby as well, But, you've got the likes of Rangers and Hibs, Rangers and Aberdeen, Celtic, Hibs, Celtic and Aberdeen. These kind of games, this is what they're wanting to show. These where the big viewing figures come from. So they should sit down and, plan their programming properly, once it's the programming sorted, you've got to stick to it. Football fans don't get considered when all this comes round. It never gets considered. It's a real shame.
All we're looking for, Bridgeman, is a bit of common sense.
But I mean, when you think about it, start of the season, there's no change to the Rangers Celtic match for Ibrox at 6. It's on a Saturday, and so on and so forth. So everybody appears to be happy about that. And lo and behold, the next game's at Celtic Park, and it's on a Sunday. And you're thinking, what's that about? Why is it not on Saturday, the same as the one at Ibrox? Obviously, I've got no idea. It's a running my mouth off, I think. But you're right. They're the games that will change for sure. They'll change them.
They changed today, Bridge.
What's that?
They changed today. The Celtic and Hibs game were moved because of television.
I'm saying that those two games, those are the two big games as far as involving the Rangers. And in the very near future, and Celtic games on the Sunday, yeah, and the Hibs games moved to a Wednesday night. Is that right? Have I got that wrong?
I think he's on mute, Bridgeman.
I think so, pal. I think so. Rudy, what days are they on?
Problem there. Carry on. Right. Sorry, Bridge, I was on mute there, mate.
Okay, but when are they on, Rudy? Do you know?
I think you're right, Bridgeman, as far as I know. My mate texted me today to say the
Sunday the 31st.
Right.
Mother's Day.
Right. What about Hibs game? Is that not on a Wednesday?
Let me just check that out, mate. Oh, that might be the one that's on Sky, but let's just go with that game. We've known it's going to be moved. It's going to be either 12:30 Saturday and Sunday. Make the time, let people arrange accordingly, home and away supporters, Rudy. Because we're only going to have 750 bears there. But that's not the point we're making. My point is, get out there at the start of the season and let people get organised.
Well, they've got to know, haven't they? Even though 750 bears, I mean, you're not going to have 750 bears just for Scotland. Live 10 minutes up the road. For the dark side. You're still going to have boys travelling, and regardless of whether it's just a handfare, whether it's thousands, you still have to accommodate these guys. They still have to travel in, boats, travel, trains, flights, all this accommodation. As I said a wee bit ago there, Ox, football fans, they're very rarely considered, when all this stuff comes about, and it's all about the big money TV deals, and unfortunately it's a big part of the game. It's not going to change anytime soon, unfortunately. Scottish football needs the money that it gets off of Sky and BT Sport. It's got to be Sky, obviously, isn't it, soon? So, they need this money. It's imperative to the clubs in the lower leagues that Scotland gets that money, so it's not going to change. They tell you when the game's got to be played, and that's when the game's got to be played, unfortunately.
I think the Hibs-Rangers match, sorry, I said Wednesday, I think it's Friday night. I think it's a Friday night, March 8th, I think that's what it is. So, maybe mistake.
That's a nice wee journey through on a Friday night, 7:45 from Glasgow to Edinburgh.
That's just, there's only going to be, in all probability, 2,000, if we're lucky, 2,000 tickets for that game. Maybe get 1,500. They're going to cut that down as much as possible. That's for sure. I think that's what they'll do.
If Hibs form keeps like it is, apart from when they're playing us,
there'll be nobody there. The last time I think
they'll show up, Ox. Don't worry about that. It's us. They'll show up for us.
No, I think they did the same. The last time we played them, their section of that stand, although they only gave Rangers half of it, I think their section of it wasn't full by any stretch of imagination.
No, there was a few gaps in it, right enough, wasn't there? And I think Stephen Gerrard commented in the run-up to the game, didn't he?
Something it's just nonsense.
He says, they want to come and see the Rangers,
Rudy, it really is. It's just comical what they're doing. They're for whatever reason, they're just hating themselves and everybody else to death. That's what they're doing. What on earth are they trying to do? Why are they not inviting the Rangers fans to get that whole stand? Oh, we've got five tickets we could sell to Hibs fans. No, I'm sorry, that's just not good enough.
It's just Scottish football, Bridgeman.
That's terrible,
inside out, mate. That's all it is. It's absolute nonsense. Motherwell do the same. Why clubs like that would, think that, I just can't get all the decisions that they make, some of the clubs in Scotland, when it concerning Rangers fans, because Rangers could easily sell at that stand at Easter Road. Any amount of tickets they want to give the Bears, they'll take them, and
take
sell
them up. They will, that pal. Yeah, they will. Yeah. Another thing that's strange about it all as well is that we've heard a million different pundits saying a million different stories as to why the atmosphere at a Rangers Celtic match isn't very good. Yeah, the one at Ibrox wasn't very good. Well, sorry, for where I was, it was fabulous, and I dare say all the Rangers fans will say it was fabulous, but they never talk about the atmosphere at the Celtic game, other than it's always going to be fabulous because the Celtic fans are. They don't mention it from a Rangers perspective. So the visiting team, what was it like for the visiting team and their support? Well, so Celtic.
We're going to have to get him new papers and a new telly and everything. We're going to have to sort him out. He can't go on, lass. We've got to get him something.
You think his blood pressure's get up, do you?
I'm worried about him, mate. You know what I mean? I'm worried about him.
Oh, listen, don't worry too much. I'm sitting here laughing. I just seen a wee report in the paper for the second day running. Celtic are selling their one of their best players. Yesterday or the day before, it was a Nanek, and now it's in Cham getting sold for, my goodness gracious, talking about £14 million. What? The guy never kicked. He couldn't even kick his own arse against us.
14 million for in Cham.
Well, I'm saying this is the story that obviously it's been released. Nanek was, I think, 8 or 9 million. Maybe one of the boys in the lobby could tell me. That's the way it's going. They're just building that up,
What were you worth at your peak in, Bridges? They called you Brassneck.
Brassneck, Redneck, aye.
Anyway, what's the number of people want to join us, Rudy?
It's 0141356 1972.
Well, join us where, Bridge?
You can join us on Skype at rangersradio.online. And I don't know if Fox is with us as far as looking after us.
Fox is in charge of the technicals at the moment.
Okay, yes. So Fox will bring us in and they'll look after you.
He always does, mate. He's a gentleman, that Fox. We talked about Stephen Davis. Mostly we had a conversation with Superb last night, but on a lot of tangents, which is brilliant, Rudy. But the positivity, you could feel it for people on the calls, which was great. Some of the first-time callers were excellent last night. Stephen Davis, he's not going to score maybe the goals that will get the headlines, but is he that bit in the jigsaw we've been missing? I think Fox mentioned last night a Stephen Davis type player. Is that the type for you? Just to, when we've struggled against your Dundees, your Kilmarnocks, when we've not the greatest of results, and they 4 points could be crucial.
I certainly hope so. I think most of us are happy about Stephen Davis coming back. He's a bit long in the legs now, but he's infinitely a better player experience-wise than he was, say, 6 years ago. Because he's huge amount of experience now for the English Premiership. For everything that I've saw and everything I've read about him, guys that know the game, they're saying this guy is better than he's ever been. So let's hope we see that, in the second half of the season. I think he possibly could be. I saw the picture of him, on the Rangers website, holding up the number 10 jersey. And really, at the stage we're at, I don't think we could ask for a better number 10 right now.
I don't see him as a number 10, mate.
No,
that's
I know,
the problem.
but that's what I was going to say was, though, I think he'll sit a wee bit deeper than he has done in the past, simply because of the age thing. But that's all right, because he's still got the creativity in my book to create stuff when, as you see, you're coming up against 2 banks of 4 or 2 banks of 5, whatever it happens to be. But I also think Jermain Defoe's a huge part of that as well, though. So, I think he's got the guile and he's got the ability to find
one
space.
One at a time, mate. One at a time.
All right, sorry. Didn't get the script this night there. Right. So, as far as Stephen Davis goes, I certainly hope so. Everything I've seen, he's still got what it takes. He's a huge part of the Northern Ireland set-up. Gareth McCauley says, they suffer when he doesn't play, because of the chances that he creates, and he's still got the ability. So let's hope he does it for us in the second half of the season.
Talking about experienced pros, we've been joined by Travel Rug. Evening, Travel.
Good evening.
Evening, Travel.
How are you doing, mate?
Boys?
You sorted out your internet. You're turning the street to have it tonight.
Well, I'm up in Aberdeen, so it's.
I'll be roaring then up there, roaring.
Rudy's will be burning away there. Please.
Oh, it's fine. It's working fine. Travel tonight. You're away.
You're not there, Travel. That's no fair.
Fantastic, isn't it? Two of them can read in Ayrshire.
When you like it.
Good people for Ayrshire. Good people. What's on your mind, Travel? Stephen Davis. How do you see him?
It's great. I'm pleased that we've signed him. We do need that. Maybe that just a wee different type of player. But what midfield would you say is our strongest midfield?
That's a great point. I mean, because let's be really honest, Bridge, we have been critical, and I'll go to. I think in forum, Arfield would need to play. Just before you go with your answer, think about the players for that game on the 29th. And think about a midfield then, and let's see if you want to play. Or tell me what you think our strongest midfield is, based on the players playing that type of performance. If you were playing next week at Parkhead, McCrory and Jack and Arfield have got to play.
So you don't play. You don't play Davis.
No,
Ken.
You might play Davis. You might play Davis where Candias is playing.
Because I think Candias' big strengths is work rate.
Aye, that was one of Stephen Davis's strengths. But that's the problem. I mean, but Stephen Davis for me, and I'll take it to Bridge Travel because it's a great question. He's going to be the guy in the games where we've struggled with the 5-5 or the 4-5, as Rudy pointed out, to just a wee guile that we've lacked all season to open up the defence, Bridge.
So a Jamie Murphy type player.
Somebody with a wee bit of guile. I think we've missed Jamie Murphy.
Throw into the mix. It's what a midfield we potentially could have. That's why I want to ask that question, because there's so many options there. Huh?
You couldn't play. There's certain games that we shouldn't have to play two defensive midfielders. Bridgeman.
I agreed there. We've said that before, but the manager must have he must have the goods, i.e. the players, to be able to make that choice whether he plays two or more midfielders, defensive midfielders. But look, the guys that played against them at Ibrox on the 29th of December, what a performance by our midfield. Absolutely wonderful. So it's going to be quite intriguing, and I'm really looking forward to Davis coming back. And now that he's, shall we say, signed on the dotted line for us, well, admittedly on a loan, I'm desperate to see him playing for us in the midfield. But for the life of me, see if you asked me who I would drop out of my midfield, I couldn't tell you. I think that, think of these guys that were playing. My God Almighty, what a fantastic game they had. So if you turn around and say, well, drop Ross McCrory, you would think, why? What did they rank, So it's one of these things. Of course, I'm under no illusions. Providing he's as good as what we think he is, then Stephen Davis must get a game. So the manager's got a serious task.
Decisions to make.
Absolutely. Serious.
What about you, Rudy?
I think it depends what formation you're going to go with. My midfield, the way it stands just now, everybody fit and ready to go. I'm going with Jack, Arfield and Davis. That would be my midfield, my starting midfield. But then I'd probably change the formation as well. I think I'd probably go with a 4-1-3-2 formation to fit Morelos and Defoe up front together. So I'd have Kent on the left, I'd have Davis on the right of the midfield.
Is that the Dusty Bin formation?
I'd have Arfield
3-2-1 boy
playing in the middle. Jack playing in front of the back four, and I'd go with a 4-1-3-2. I'd try that.
So what did Ross McCrory do?
Nothing. You did nothing, but
I thought.
But you can't.
Ross McCrory I thought we had a great performance against them. I thought Ross McCrory
was travel. Let's be honest about it. It was one game.
But it's no. I thought McCrory was the best player against Hibs.
Oh, he played well, but what's the sense in
that? But as travel rug managers have got a decision to make.
Right.
If they need any red leading gone, they give you a call and they have you painting it. And when they need some decent engineers done, they get other people in. And that's the way management works, mate.
I think it's going to be very difficult for the manager to say to the young lads that were there against Celtic, because they must be still as high as a kite and really looking forward to getting the next game. So, and they know themselves that these two chaps have basically come in. I don't know how fit they are, providing they're fit and they're top of their game. To me, it's obvious that Davis needs to get a game. So, I think Rudy was saying it would depend on which formation the boy wants to play. So, if he goes 4-4-2, then you would think that Jermain Defoe is up front alongside or just behind Morelos, and Davis is in the midfield somewhere. So it's really difficult. Really difficult.
I mean, a lot of what
happened been dumped, A
lot of what happened in the first half of the season, though. I mean, you must admit, Travel, there was some really mediocre performances in the first half. It wasn't all playing well against Hibs and battling the Tims at Ibrox on the 29th. You look at the games against the likes of Dundee and stuff like that. Points we dropped against Kelly and all that as well. We dropped a lot of points in the first half of the season. And as much as I think young McCrory's a cracking young player, I think, there was a lot of complaints about 4-3-3. Stick with that. We don't change it because we don't have the players to change it. Well, we have got the players now to change it, in the second half of the season. And I don't really see any sense in bringing players like Davis and Morelos in if you're just going to sit them on the bench because Ross McCrory's playing well. He did play well, I give you that. I totally agree with you there. But I don't see any sense.
So when we play at Rugby Park then, Algin, what's your midfield three? Everybody's fit. I'm not saying that Murphy or Dorrans are fit. The players that are available today. What's your midfield play? You're going to win the game, remember.
But you talk the game coming up against Kilmarnock. We see do we take into consideration it's a plastic?
Oh, come on, get off the fence. Just switch your midfield three.
Hey, listen, this is why I asked.
Come on. Here's an answer.
Come on, Travel.
Come on, Travel. Get off that fence. You'll get splinters.
There's a lot of hesitation going on here.
There is, isn't there, Bridgeman? Yeah.
Rudy, I'm not. Please don't.
He's a gun loader, Rudy, but he'll not answer the question. Do you know what I mean?
Midfield at Kilmarnock.
Right, Rudy, quiet. Let him speak.
My midfield at Kilmarnock would be McCrory, Jack, Arfield.
Do you know what? I think that's a crack midfield. And Travel, I totally agree with you. I think against the Tims in the 29th, I thought they were outstanding. Absolutely outstanding.
Are you playing a 4-3-3 again, Travel?
Yes, and because my point on this is that I don't want to change a winning team. And I know at the time when I was at the game, I was screaming for another goal. But see, afterwards, after the way that we beat them, the way that we dominated them, the way that we held them without them scoring, I thought it was a great way. I think it was such an important victory for us. And you could see that team just seemed to, when they were coming off the park, they seemed to have a right bounce in their step. So I think these guys should be rewarded with. These players have got to now play themselves into it, and if they get an opportunity, then it's up to them. I don't know about.
Yeah, I mean that could be the midfield. That could be the midfield, but if Davis is fit, and we've got to win the game, because in my opinion, it's all about winning football matches now. Bridgeman, if he's the one that's going to unlock their defence, mate.
Yeah, I think Davis has got the skills that could do just that. Although, I don't know if he's ever going to be fit for us, but Doran said also, I think he also can unlock the potential. But the present minute at the moment, that's why I said earlier, just a few minutes ago, it's going to be really difficult for a manager, because the boys that played against them at Ibrox played absolutely wonderful, out their skin, fantastic performance by them, and not a failure on the side. So to bring Davis in, he'd need to be at the top of his game, I would imagine. Either that or he comes on at half time or something like that, or for the last 30 minutes to let him get some stuff into his legs. But to play them at Kilmarnock on that pitch, I think I would be quite reluctant to play Davis on that pitch, and Defoe, to be perfectly honest.
What a great problem they have though, Bridgeman.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. The manager's got a big headache, big headaches, and he's got sleepless nights ahead of him as well. But he knows that these two guys are going to be invaluable for us. I would imagine he would think that anyway. And what do? Do you put them onto that hellish pitch and let them go there and see what they can do? Or do you take your time, just give them 15 minutes or half an hour? Do you wait till you get them to Ibrox? I don't know. I really don't know how he's going to work it.
I think the point you make about the pitch bridge is relevant. We've already lost Waghorn, and Jamie Murphy on that pitch, haven't we?
Yeah.
I think it'd be horrible to see Stephen Davis or Jermain Defoe go through the same thing, just so early Davis back at his second spell and Defoe here, and he started his Rangers career. To lose them on that plastic pitch would just be absolutely gutting, if we lose them.
I never thought I'd say this, but I can actually see Travel's point that getting the 3 a game, going with the same 3 again, because there'd be a strong argument to say they didn't play well against Celtic, wouldn't it?
No, you couldn't say that. How could you possibly say? You couldn't. I've watched the game about 5 times now. I can't stop watching it. It's absolutely.
Call yourself a supporter, Bridge. How many times you watched it?
5 times a day.
I think it was an exceptional performance. It really was. There was only one team wanted that on the day, and our players showed they wanted it much more than the dark side did. But for me, I can't pick a man of the match. If I was really pushed and you said to me, look, you could pick one guy, I'd pick Ryan Kent just because he's work rate up and down that left, the way, he absolutely ripped their right back a new one consistently until he went off. He created the goal. But for me, it would be churlish anybody to pick a man of the match. It really would. It was an exceptional performance.
There was only one man of the match for me, mate, at the game live, and that was Scott Arfield by a distance.
I don't know about a distance.
See, that's the difference when you don't. Honestly, mate, when you're at the game live, you wouldn't have seen what he done to affect the play with closing Brown down, mate.
Oh, I've seen it. I know. He was absolutely brilliant the way he shot Brown down, and that's.
What are you laughing at, Travel?
He keeps. You sat beside me. I remember.
I only got half a seat.
How many times did I punch you whenever that?
Who told you within 5 minutes what was going wrong?
Oh God!
I think that I'm not being funny when I say. I think I said it earlier on too. not set. Well, after the great St Rangers Celtic match, I thought that Ryan Jack was outstanding. It's very difficult.
I think Tony was the man of the match.
I'm saying it's very difficult to pick a man of the match, but my goodness, that midfield were brilliant.
That's the point. That's the point I was just going to make there. Every single person.
Watch for you're doing, Rudy. You're falling into the trap. What he's done with Lee Wallace posters, he's painted the hair blonde.
Everybody that I've spoken to about the game has come up with a different man.
Yes, and you can't blame them. You can't blame them.
That's a good thing, but it's got to be a good thing.
The guy beside me in the Copeland Rear, he reckoned that Andy Halliday was outstanding, best game he's ever played.
Argue with that,
and so on.
My mate picked Halliday. My mate picked
Halliday. And Alan McGregor never put a fit Ryan.
That's true, by the way.
Just on the Andy Halliday one, the first 30 seconds, he belted up the line, and it was a 50-50 type thing with that and Chamlon, and Halliday slid in, won the ball, and then the old fist pump, and see that there, I was up at my seat, and that was a tackle. Do you know what I mean? Because that, for me, that seemed to just set the whole thing further up the rest of the match. Halliday was stood still, and you could see him looking at it as if to say, "I might get that," but it was as if, "But I'm going to try, and I'm going to get stuck in here. I'm going to let them know that they're not going to get to walk out of us today," and that just set it for the rest of the match. And the whole crowd went just with that one tackle. And and again, Ox, I'll get back to it, mate. How often have we been screaming out for that in Old Firm games? How many times have
I've been telling you we've had a problem with left back for quite a while, mate, but you've been chasing it. Can you mark that one up, Rudy Bear? I think that's one to me.
Travel, he got you there, pal. He got you a beauty there, I'll tell you.
That's fine. He's getting at least one. That's
but you're right, Travel. It was and by the way, Andy Halliday deserved every minute of that. Every minute after the game, with the minutes to go, he deserved it.
Yeah.
I'm shocked at the boy. I thought he'd have been off. I didn't think any future the club has been improved, but he's took up the cudgel and he's not let us down any time this season. We've got to be fair to him, Rudy.
We certainly have. Like yourself, Ox, I never thought he'd be here this season. I thought he'd have been gone by now. Stephen Gerrard really likes him, and I don't think at any point this season we can say that he's ever let us down. But on the 29th, he was exceptional. I just thought he had a great game, He was up for everything. That tackle, it's a great point that Travel makes. That tackle just set the tone for the rest of the game. That was a 60-40 in Cham's favour, and he beat him to it, slid in, took the ball cleanly, great tackle, and then you could hear the Bears showing their appreciation. As I say, Stephen Gerrard obviously really likes him. He hasn't let us down. You caught him open, he bleeds blue just like the rest of us. I thought he had a great performance. And to have them, the Darksiders, not that long ago, singing his name and all the rest of it, that must have been absolute gutting for the boy, because I can't even imagine how I would feel had that happened to likes of me. So that must have been absolutely gutting for him. If anybody deserved that performance on the 29th and the accolades that came afterwards, it's certainly Andy Halliday, in my opinion.
I think, Rudy, you're absolutely right. What I was going to say, that tackle you're talking about, it made Andy Halliday's day. It set him up, but also setting Cham up for his performance, which was not very good. Not a very good game at all against us. He was totally outplayed.
Anyway, we digressed a wee bit there when Travel Rob come on with a tremendous question. We're talking about Stephen Davis. We've not heard from Stephen Davis on the show since he joined the club. So if you don't mind going on mute, lads, we'll hear from Stephen Davis. Is he MBE or OBE? We've got that many awards at the club. What is he, Bridge?
MBE.
MBE, I think.
Stephen Davis, MBE.
Delighted to be back. Looking forward to getting started, and it's obviously been a little while in the making. But whenever I found out, obviously the club were interested, then this is the one that I wanted to happen.
We're out here in Tenerife, of course, and you've just met your new teammates. A few familiar faces in there as well, of course.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, it's nice to know a few of the boys already, obviously, and met the rest of them just briefly there. So, as I say, looking forward to get out on the training pitch with them this evening, and seems like a great bunch of lads. So I'm sure they're all refreshed after their break, and looking forward to getting back into it. You
had a great time down at Southampton, made over 200 appearances for them. How big a decision was this to move back to Rangers, and how quickly did you manage to make that decision?
Yeah, obviously I found out about the interest from the club a little while back, and sort of talks were ongoing between the two clubs to try and come to a conclusion. So, and then whenever the decision's made, it all happens very quickly. So delighted obviously to get it agreed last night, and straight on a flight this morning to be out here. So it's great to be back. Obviously very, very familiar with their club. I'm sure there'll be plenty of faces I recognise as I go along, and looking forward to getting back out at Ibrox.
How did it feel when you found out that Rangers were interested in you again?
Yeah, it's obviously very fond memories from my previous time at the club, and as soon as I found out there was interest there, that was the one that I wanted to happen, and delighted to get it signed and sealed now, and looking forward to getting started.
And of course, Steven Gerrard is now the manager of the club, someone you'd have played against in the past, but now you'll be working under him. I'm sure you're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely. I think anybody in my area is an icon for any young player coming up, and likewise for myself as well. So I'm sure I'll learn a lot from him. He's obviously done a fantastic job here, and in the 6 months that he's been here, there seems like a real good camaraderie within the squad, and I'm looking forward to getting to know the boys a bit more this week. It's a good introduction for me as well, and then getting back to Scotland and getting stuck into the games.
Yeah. Just how well do you know the manager and his coaching staff, like Gary McAllister? Have you had the chance to chat to them before?
I've had a brief chat with them, of course, just there today. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they work and get involved in that. As I say, two great players in the day, and I'm sure I can learn a lot from them as well.
Is there a feeling of deja vu for you? It's 10 years, of course, since you last joined Rangers on loan in January 2008 from Fulham. So it's a similar circumstances, if you like, and perhaps maybe similar on the pitch as well, with a new manager in charge and the club's rebuilding again slightly.
Yeah, exactly. I think the club's came a long way in the last couple of years. Obviously, the Old Firm result was massive for everybody, a massive psychological boost for the boys as well. So it's a great time to come in amongst it. And I'm just looking forward to raring to go, and can't wait to get out there.
Yeah, and just how much are you looking forward to being back in the Scottish game again? You've maybe had limited appearances so far this season at Southampton, but you're looking forward to getting back into it.
Yeah, exactly. You miss playing. I obviously haven't had the game time that I would have liked in the last 6 months, so as I say, I can't wait to get back out in the pitch. But of course, whenever you're not playing, hopefully it won't take me too long to get up to speed. I feel quite good physically, so it's just that little bit of sharpness you get from games that you can't get from training. But looking forward to getting a good week's training under my belt this week, getting amongst the boys, getting to know them a bit better, and I'm sure once we get back we'll all be ready to go.
Yeah. Just how important do you feel this next week out in Tenerife is for you? Obviously settling into the club again, but getting to know the teammates. We've mentioned already, like Alan McGregor, Gareth McCauley, Kyle Lafferty, of course. There's a few boys in there you already know.
Yeah, it's a perfect opportunity for me to be away with the group and sort of be in a confined space for a period of time. So it'll be really good for me, and obviously Jermain whenever he comes in as well, to get to know the boys a lot better. And as I say, I obviously know one of the two faces already. Hopefully I'm not ruining one of them, but yes, it's great to be here. Delighted to be here, and just looking forward to the future. You
mentioned Jermain Defoe there as well, and he's also signed for the club on a loan deal. How big a player do you feel he can be? You've obviously played against him, and you know his attributes, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Jermain's record speaks for itself. Doesn't need selling to anybody, and he's scored goals wherever he's gone. And anybody that I've known that has played with him, that I've spoke to already, have said what a good finisher he is. But yeah, I think it's going to be a great addition to the squad, and I'm sure he'll bang in plenty of goals for the team.
From your first spell at Rangers, fans of course will remember your midfield play. You won eight domestic honours with the club, helped the club reach the UEFA Cup final as well. So many cherished memories for you, and I'm sure you're looking to build on that now.
Yeah, it was a great period for the club, a great period for me personally in my career as well. Those are memories that I want to try and replicate once again. That's why you come to a club like Rangers to challenge for trophies on a regular basis, and I think the squad's capable of doing it. So I'm looking forward to seeing up close the players, get to know each other on and off the pitch, and then hopefully come the end of the season with a lot of hard work we can achieve something.
Yeah. And just how much have you been following the team's progress so far this season under Steven Gerrard? I think you've been watching a few games, and you mentioned obviously the Old Firm there, the victory at the end of the year, which was fantastic.
Yeah, in a game that's on, whenever I'm at home, I always try and catch it if I can. 3 kids in the house is not always easy, but yeah, the teams, I think they've done an excellent job. They've obviously started pre-season very on with the qualifiers in Europe, and very unlucky not to qualify from the group as well. And obviously domestically, they put in a really strong first half of the season. So we know, listen, there's a lot of hard work to do, but I think we're on the right track.
Yeah, and just finally, we're out here in Tenerife, of course. I think you've maybe just been told that you're going to be rooming with Kyle Lafferty as well. So was that part of the deal?
That was definitely not part of the deal. I thought I had it in the small print. Not that wasn't the case, but yeah, no, as I say, Laff's a good lad. Maybe a bit too much 24 hours a day, but yeah, it's nice that he's here, and nice, obviously we've been here together before as well.
Okay, thanks for that, Fox. We're all back, lads?
Yep.
Come on, Bridge, get off of mute. What do you think, Rudy?
Aye, Bridgeman, Dana Bridgeman.
Bridgeman. He's still talking away there to himself, looking at his new pillar.
Nah, he's got a toast in.
No, he's talking about himself, mate. He's talking about himself. Travel, Stephen Davis. He was a fantastic player for us before. Very, very consistent. Is that fair?
Aye.
7.5 out of 10 every week. I mean, he played really well. He was up there with a 9s, but a bad game for him was a 7.
Mm-hmm. No, he's not one of these guys that people look back and they go better with a wee bit of history, or the time when they're not here that they actually were, they go better than what they actually were. Stephen Davis was a really good player for us, an excellent player for us. Obviously, the circumstances of what happened to us dictated that he left it. But I actually always had a kind of thought, I don't know that Stephen Davis would ever have left us if it hadn't been for what became of us. He wasn't trying to get a move. He knew that he probably could. He was one of the players that could go down to the Premier League and turn it on. But you never ever thought that he was looking to engineer a move away for the club. I thought that Stephen Davis was going to be one of the players that just stayed with us. But unfortunately, circumstances dictated that he left. One thing that when I was watching that interview, I could just picture your big pal Ulster sitting there with a big cigar and a wee brandy, feeling on top of the world. All his Christmases and birthdays came there when Stephen Davis came back, and having him and Kyle and even Jordan Jones.
Big Macaulay.
And Macaulay. What else? Is there anything else we can do? It's as if Steven Gerrard's picking a team to suit Big Ulster.
By the way, there's quite a lot you picked up in Arfield and Jack and McCrory, mate, at the start of the show, and then you've got Dandy Halliday, who Rudy mentioned, and then there's a lot of Rangers supporters all of a sudden appeared in our team, isn't there?
No, it's fantastic, and I that for me is a very, very strong part of what we've needed. I think we've needed to get our identity back. There were some things that have been in the past 6 years. There's some things that have been taken away for our club and some of our traditions, and it's always been something that I've felt quite passionate about, as we get back to the traditions that have made us famous, and but also the getting our identity back, and boys that are there that know what this means to them. I'm nothing against Joe Worrells or the Ejaria or Gresda or anything like that. But these guys that are the McCrory, who's grew up through the club, Andy Halliday, who was with us when he was younger, but then never worked out for him, and he's went away, but he's came back, and Arfield. I think I've seen an article with Arfield, because when Arfield came to us, you were getting all these stories about how he was a tarrier and all the rest of it, and we grew up supporting them. when that happened, when that game on the 29th, I seen an article that was an interview with Arfield, and it became quite clear to me that boy's a bear. And when you seen the way that he played, that was a bear that was playing there. That's nothing.
That's the trouble when you get your local parish paper, mate. You're getting the wrong information. You know what I mean?
No, but that's and Ryan Jack, he's not made any secret. Despite growing up in Aberdeen, he grew up a Rangers fan.
His mother's from a big Rangers family, mate.
Aye. So, but that's great for me. That's what I want to see. It makes it even more enjoyable. And you get after that game finished, I seen Graham Doran running onto the park, and seen that. That means so much more to these boys.
Jamie Murphy was gone mental as well. So he was going to have his nut.
I also think, guys, that when you get victories like that, people want to come and play for you. Not that they never wanted to in the past, but they will.
Success does that. Success does that. Going back to Stephen Davis, Rudy, and Travel made a lot of good points there. Stephen Davis, you have different types of leaders. You have your John Greggs. You have your, people might say, Tav with the various things. You have Richard Gough, Terry Butchers. Stephen Davis was a leader in a different type of way.
You certainly were. Yeah, on the part, as you say, but you want that, don't you, in a team? You just don't want, you need more than one leader. You look at the 9 in a row side, how many leaders were on the part then, I mean, you need more than just 1 or 2 leaders on a part. You need a team full of leaders to bring success back to the club, and Stephen Davis certainly knows how to do that. He was here at a successful period in the club. He knows how it works. He knows what it means to the fans. He knows what it means to the club. He knows the culture of the club, the history. He understands it inside out. And to have Stephen Davis back again, just for me, is absolutely fantastic. Big Ulster must have cracked open the champagne when that happened, and rightly so. He's a guy, he's a player, he knows exactly what it means to us, He's a leader on the park, but not only is he going to be a leader on the park, he's going to be a leader in the dressing room, he's going to be a leader at the training centre. He's going to teach the young players, he's going to speak to them, they'll learn things off him. He'll explain to guys who come into the club, new players who come in who haven't played for us before, what it means to play for the famous Glasgow Rangers, because he gets it completely. And you're right, he's going to be a leader. It's as simple as that. He's going to use his experience to get us through games, tough games where we need to break teams down. He's going to talk to players. He'll talk the midfield through games. He'll talk to the players at half-time in the dressing room. He'll have stuff to say that'll matter. Stuff they say that'll matter. Stuff that'll get us through games. And that's exactly why we've signed him, why we've brought him back to the club. Ops.
Absolutely, Pa. You don't have come in here, Ox, there. I think we need guys of character. We're a big club, and we need we need a team full of characters, and lots of characters in different forms of character as well. But we need to all good characters, and of good character and good characters, big characters for a big club. That's what we need, and Davis is one of them.
Yeah.
All right. We've got the end of the season coming up. We've got, I think it's 17 league games travel. Just quickly, Stephen. What's up?
The reason just when you mentioned that there, I was going to ask you a question, and I'm pretty sure the next time I'm up at that bistro, Fox is going to book me in the arse for saying this, but I'm not going to lie. I've actually sat and thought to myself, right, when are we going to win this league? That's what that game done at the end. I've started to, and I'm thinking, could we win it against them at Ibrox? Oh, that'd be just brilliant.
But fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Whatever floats your boat, mate. You know what I mean?
I know. I'm asking for too much there, Bridgeman. What do you think?
I think you're getting a bit too ahead of yourself.
I think, Travel, I'd be interested to know when did you get it to?
I think you've spent too much doing that solo crossing in the last
When is it going to be then, Travel? When?
Well, that would either be the first or second game after the break,
split.
The split. So, because we're obviously at home.
So you're telling me you've sat down with all league tables and you've went, there's the fixtures. They'll beat them. We'll beat them. They'll draw there. We'll win there. And you've worked it right through, have you?
I think I've sat and...
It's a yes or a no answer. Yes or no?
I'm not saying I'm getting carried away or anything, but that's where I went.
Fair play to you. Fair play to you. But I asked you a question. Stephen Davis coming in, 17 league games. Hit or miss for us going forward, and is he here to drive us on to 55, mate? Hit or miss travel?
Absolutely a hit.
Rudy Bear, who hasn't sat down with a pen and paper because he's very intelligent, he's doing it next week after the Kilmarnock game.
I'm doing it tonight after travel mentioned it. 100% a hit for me. I don't see how we can fail, to be honest.
So if he's a hit, we win the league?
I think so. I think he's what we've been looking for. I think we've been asking for a Stephen Davis type player the first half of the season. We've now got him. I think when the rumours were so strong about Stephen Davis, we were talking about it. We'll hear many a time, and I don't think there was anybody said no to Stephen Davis. So I think he's going to be a big hit. Aye.
Rich?
Yeah, a huge hit. I'm so looking forward to seeing him playing. As I said earlier, he's one of these guys that you just want to wrap him up in cotton wool and let him loose when need be, and let him go out and show us the skills he's got and make the rest of our team play, because that's what it's about, making the rest of our team play. And when we can do that, it'd be fantastic. I thought he was a great player for us in the past. I was disappointed the way things happened and he left. I'm so delighted for him that he's come back. Delighted. I just hope he gets through to the end of the season and we manage to sign him and get a decent deal for the guy, and get him to sign on for us, and so that he's no under, shall we say, unhappy. We want him to be happy and look forward. And I think once we do that, that could be your next captain.
I don't know if Stephen will be the next captain, mate. I think he's... What's that, Travel?
I don't think he'll be the next captain either.
No, I don't think he will. I think he's here for maybe 18 months. It might work out 2.5 years if it's really good for us, but I don't think he will be. I think there's a lot of potential in there, but you never know. Bridges been
do you think Lee Wallace is going to be our next captain?
I don't think Lee Wallace should be my previous captain, but that's a whole show on its own.
Right, see whilst we're on that subject of trying to wind me up, can I just bring up James Tavernier, the old Tavernier? Can I I thought against them on the 29th, I thought he was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
As a defender.
Yeah.
He proved to me that he can defend.
He's done things like that in the past, mate. His problem sometimes he turns after positionally, if I'm being honest about it.
Yeah.
He's no. Let's be really honest about it, Rudy. He's no Tav. He's not the greatest defender I've ever seen, but he's got assets these games, eh?
Well, you look at his goals and assists for the first half of the season, and the previous season as well. From a fullback's position, he's got a phenomenal amount of goals and assists. He's fantastic at going forward. There's never been any doubt about that. He's defending. But then, in fairness to Tavernier, he's not a traditional fullback, Tavernier. There's very few traditional fullbacks in the game nowadays. Fullbacks are not asked just to defend. They're asked to get forward and create and assist and score goals. And that's what Tav does. Tav does exactly what he's asked to do. We could query his defending abilities, loads of times we could pick on that, but then you've got to look at his positives as well for me. And his assists and that are fantastic,
Rudy Bear built himself on the Bobby Shearer mould, on his athletic shape.
You're not far wrong there, to be honest.
Bobby Shearer, Captain Cutlass.
Yeah. Aye, but he's a more modern style of player,
different game.
Style of fullback.
Yeah. Guys, I looked up that too. Remember the 6-2 game to Easter? It was at Easter Road, when we played the Hibs. Easter Road, and we beat them 6-2. And something, I'll tell you what, I saw Tavernier taking a free kick there. Wow. Top left hand. Oh my God, what a fabulous free kick. I think that was for the equaliser.
By the way, see that season with Tavernier, he was putting him in for you. Remember the one he scored at Ibrox?
Yeah.
And then the next season they couldn't get a ball in the box.
You know what? But we're all sitting up there. A lot of guys I know anyway, sitting up the Copeland Road. You're wondering, where's all these goals, Tab? What have you done with them? Okay, he's scoring a lot of penalties for us whenever we get them. But my goodness gracious, he was scoring 11 and 12 goals a season for us there. But it felt like that anyway, you know.
The point I was just trying to make is that when he needed to defend and he needed to be more solid at the back, he did. He was very, very good. Arguably their best player was McGregor, playing at the fullback on Tav's side. Their only real chance, whether the offside decision, which was correct, a correct decision, it came down Tav's side. He got cut open. Now, credit to the manager. I think very quickly he had identified that Candeias was tired a bit, so he whipped.
Candeias never went with the runner, mate.
No, I know that. And Tav got left a wee bit exposed there. But my point was that he needed to defend. He needed to show up as a defender that day, and he did. And I'm pleased. I'm pleased for him. But that's my only concern with him is that, and I believe that he should be a defender before anything else. But I do agree that he brings so much to the team, and maybe we'll see. I mean, it would be a hard player for us to replace. Despite
I don't think. You're going to have to. People come and people go. You know, managers have got decisions to make, loss of form, injury. You deal with it when it comes at you, mate.
I know that, but I mean, we appear to have cover for almost every position, and you can maybe say that Flanagan would be the cover if Tav picked up an injury, but if we were to sell him, or if somebody came to us with an offer before the end of the winter break here, do we could put a price on it? If somebody came and offered us 5 million, would you take that for Tav? And would you be comfortable that you'd be able to go and get a replacement that could give you so much attacking for 5 million quid? Would we have to go out and spend that whole money again?
No, the replacement might be at the club.
Aye, well, maybe.
Could be at the club.
You know, I have to say that Tavernier is a real athlete, and I think he's played every single game. And you know, my goodness gracious, does he travel a lot of miles during the game, up and down that park? And I know that it's been said, and we've agreed that he's maybe defensively that's maybe his weak point. But I'm wondering if Gerrard and his group been making him concentrate a wee bit on his defending to make him a wee more aware and keep focus and so on. So because sometimes he drifts away, and it's just to bring him back to life again. Somebody shout at him, you know, waking up, you know. But no, I think he's improved immensely based on us having him since way back in the Championship. And here he is. I think he's been a tremendous servant for us. You know, I know 2 years ago I said if we can get a couple of £1 million for him, I'd take it. Now I would imagine somebody just mentioned it. I would imagine that the story going around there that somebody was sitting with £7 million ready to bid for him. I think I'd look for more than that, to be honest. He's just unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Go in January. I would really hate to see him because I think to plug that gap, I think he'd struggle, to be honest, in January. If he's going to go, you know, if there's a bid comes in, like you say, Bridgeman, there's a strong rumour about a £7 million bid, isn't there? I really would hate to see him go in January. I think if he's going to go, it's got to be the summer. You know, if we get a bid in that we just can't turn down, it's got to be the summer for me. Because I think, I know, Ox, you've just said that there possibly could be a player there that could fill that position. No, for me, there isn't, because I don't know anybody at the club that could play that position for me right now. Certainly no Flanagan. Flanagan's more your traditional style right back. He's never going to get up and down that wing the way Tav does. He's not the athlete for a start that Tav is.
There was a boy who was playing at defensive midfield at the game at the 29th.
You're talking about McCrory. Do you think McCrory would give you the goals and assists though that Tav does? You know,
you would need to see him in the position regular to see what he would add to him. Yeah, he's got the athleticism and the pace to do it. Yeah,
I think he'd do a good job getting up and down the side of the park, you know, getting back. And I think he's probably more defensive minded than Tav is. But for me, it's the goals and assists with Tav. That's what I'm thinking about, you know. And I think if if you're going to take a big bid for him, it's got to be in the summer for me, in January.
He does. Rudy, he does beat his man. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, I'll come to you next, Bridget. It's his assists, mate. He's no scored it. Let's be honest about it.
I know. I'm talking about overall the time he's been at Rangers, you know. I know what you're saying, Oxide, but his assists, you know, you look at the assists he's provided for Morelos this season as well, you know. Some fantastic crosses into the box, you know, and sometimes, you know, they let him down a wee bit and players don't get into the box quick enough to get one at the end of them, you know, but he's certainly provided some great assists this season.
Mm-hmm. He might be an even better player with Stephen Davis playing in front of him, eh?
Yeah, possibly.
That's it. You're taking the words right out of my mouth then.
Oh, sorry, Bridge. On you go, mate.
No, I was just going to say, wouldn't it be marvellous if someone like Stephen Davis would come in, and I don't know where Candias is going to fit in, if Davis is going to play. My last recollection, Davis used to play like near the right wing type thing, wide right or a wide-ish right position. So he might in fact be that. Or whether in fact they play him on the left, Davis, play him in a more central area or over to the left, leaving Candias and Tavernier, because they appear to sometimes have a good partnership going. So that's why I say about our manager, he's got an enormous job ahead of him, just in team selection alone, because he's got some smashing players who are on form, and we're sitting there. We're no joint top of the league for nothing. We managed to pull ourselves by the boots up, get up that league, and stay there. Now it's about, from now to the end of the season, it's about consolidating what we've got. Don't lose any more points as much as, wherever we can. No stupid ones, please. We can't afford any stupid defeats. If we do, we can say bye-bye.
Listen, it's squeaky bum time. It's all about winning football matches. Travel away.
Tell me.
Aye.
It's as simple as that, mate.
Character now, and I would like to think that somebody mentioned it earlier on. Somebody like Davis and then Defoe. These are experience. This is experience that we are bringing in, and it's character. It's responsibility. It's the old heat. That for me is very, very, very important. That we're bringing these guys in for what could be a very interesting run-in. And then you've got the manager who made a statement about players like Andy Halliday, where he's got faith in them as players that he trusts, and Ryan Jack. It's good that the manager's got the trust and faith in these players, because, as you say, squeaky bum time is as good a description as any. There's going to be challenges coming up for us, and we need these guys to stand up and accept the challenges, and also succeed in taking these challenges on.
Yeah,
Rudy, you're coming in then, mate?
No, I just agree with Travel 100% there. Second half of the seasons, it's going to be tough, don't get me wrong, because Aberdeen seems to have a bit of form coming up to the end of the year. Kelly's done really well. Steve Clark's got them playing probably well above what they should be. So it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to just be about our performances against the Tims. We're going to have to go away to Pittodrie Rugby Park. We're going to have to go to Tynecastle and Easter Road, and we're going to have to pick up points. We dropped way too many points away from home in the first half of the season. We can't drop that amount of points in the second half of the season away from home. So there's going to need to be character shown when you go to Easter Road, character shown at Tynecastle, Pittodrie. These games are going to matter big time, absolutely big time, and that's where the character comes in. We don't want to drop as many points as we did away from home in the first half of the season. That's got to be put a stop to.
Anyway, gentlemen, get yourself some mute. We're going to have a solo for your Fox.
Won't you gather round me, lads, and listen to your dad? For now my life is but a dying ember. But be George, before I go, I want you all to know that Ulster is the land of no surrender. From the battle of the Boyne to the carnage of the Somme, we gave the enemy something to remember. So be George, before I go, I want you all to know that Ulster is the land of no surrender. Won't you gather round me, girls, and listen if you will, and tell your children always to remember that your daddy taught you so, and granddad ought to know that Ulster is the land of no surrender. From From the battle of the Boyne to the carnage of the Somme, we gave our enemy something to remember. So be George, before I go, I want you all to know that Ulster is the land of no surrender. Oh, won't you clasp my hand, my dear, my final word you'll hear. You've always been a friend so kind and tender. Press your lips against my breast and hear my final word, that Ulster is the land of no surrender. From the battle of the Boyne to the carnage of the Somme, we gave our enemy something to remember. So be George, before I go, I want you all to know that Ulster is the land of no surrender.
You like that one, Bridge?
Just get back. I'm out of breath. That was brilliant, by the way. Because Ulster is the land of no surrender. Just love it.
All right. Casey Numbers put something in the lobby that we're still rumoured to be after Martin Skirtle, you know.
Saw that story 2 days ago, and it's not going away. It's not going away at all, is it?
Well, we'll see. Look, if you've got a manager and you think he's going to take you to the next level, you have to. He'll sometimes make decisions that we don't think are maybe right, but you've got to go with his judgment, Bridger.
Oh, absolutely, pal. I think that our manager, we really have to trust him, and we have to really back him up, and which we're doing. I don't think there's anybody in our support, or very few in our support, would say too much against our manager. I think they all think he's great. Some of them are obviously taking the fact his experience. You know, he's still quite young that way. But for what he's done, half a season gone, sitting joint top of the league, 14 games in Europe, fabulous. 10 out of 10 up to now for me.
I think we need to be honest here. Without Gerrard, we wouldn't have Defoe.
Agreed.
I think you're right, mate. I think you're right there when you say that.
And also, I also think having someone of the, but I think we've already spoken about how the type of profile that he brings to the club, the new interest that has been brought to the club, just because of the name of the guy. But also, I think it's probably worth remembering that when he's gone in to sit and discuss with the director of football or with the board and say, and he's saying he's looking for backing, he's got players in mind. I don't think any manager or any I couldn't imagine Pedro or Mark Warburton being able to go in there and kind of ask to get this level of backing, even during the winter shutdown. There's four. That's us made 4 signings during this winter break here. I'm not sure that another manager would have been able to go in and do that now. He's got a wee bit of he's got some success for the first 6 months of the season, which is obviously going to strengthen his argument when he's discussing that, because I think we all know the money that we've probably made for Europe, but the profile's been raised in Europe has brought a good feeling back to the supporters. We're selling out every game. I think you maybe mentioned it last night during one of the calls at 3 minutes or 4 minutes or something. The St Mirren game was sold out, but that's been the way it's been all season. We've sold out every home match. So having a manager like that is not only strengthening us by attracting a particular type of player, but it's strengthening us by the negotiations with the people that's got the money in the club. They're willing to back him, and that's a great sign for us.
I think at the start of the season, then I'll go to Rudy with a snitch. I think the Goldstone thing when he turned up at Goldstone's door. to talk him into signing for the club, and when it was his door and he met up with him when he went to see him locally, I don't know, but that story shows Gerrard's he's a guy who's became really successful, but he's not forgot his roots, and that's what makes him such a special individual.
I think, well, he knows players, Ox, doesn't he? You know, he had a great career in the game himself, you know. You know, he knows how to talk to them. He knows, you know, strings to pull when required. And Jermain Defoe, for me, as I said last week, is just a perfect example of that. The fact that we've managed to bring him in on loan is a real coup for us. And there's the Gerrard effect for me, right there. As you say, he went down and spoke to Goldson. But I'm sure Goldson could have went to other championship clubs or whatever the case might have been, maybe even lower, you know, some of the clubs at the lower English Premiership possibly. But he came to us. I mean, Gerrard must be a really hard guy to be able to turn and say no to him, you know. When he comes and talks to you, when he personally comes down looking for you to sit down and have a gab with you about coming to Rangers, it must be really hard to knock the guy back because of the stature that he has. And he's not just in British football, but in world football. We're talking about a guy here who was a world superstar. We've got a world superstar as our manager. That's the way you have to look at this, Sox, you know. And, you know, as far as the Defoe thing goes, you had strong rumour that himself, Mark Allen and Dave King met up with Defoe in London, took him out for a night out, you know, had a chat to him, told them what they were expecting, you know, going forward for Rangers, what they wanted for Rangers going forward. And Gerrard would have been a huge part of that as far as Defoe's concerned, you know. Massive part of it for me.
I think, I mean, you mentioned Defoe and how he got to the club. So if you don't mind going on mute, we'll hear from Jermain Defoe. Has he got an MBOB or he's got
MBE. He's an MBE. One of the
the new trophy cabinet in the room for all these medals we've got for the Queen. Get yourself on mute and we'll hear from Jermain Defoe, MB.
To be honest, I mean, there's been a lot of talk. I remember seeing things in the summer over like social media and stuff like that. Even on holiday, people come up to me, you come to Rangers, obviously before there's been any contact and that, but I'm just delighted, you know, it's a massive football club, a good opportunity for me, you know, another league, I'm looking forward to it. When there was the contact, why did you want to come here? For obvious reasons. I've always known, it's a massive football club, the history of the club. I think as players, they're the sort of clubs that you want to play for. They're the clubs that you want to play for and do well, and try and sort of like be part of the history if you can. But I think it's an easy decision, to be honest. If you love your football like me and you get an opportunity like this, it's really hard to sort of like turn it down. It's quite unusual to get a different challenge as well at this maybe stage in your career. I think so, yeah. But it's one of those things where I've been in the Premier League for so long, and it's always nice to have a different challenge because sometimes you can sort of like not get comfortable, but you're sort of like in your comfort zone. And sometimes I think it's nice to sort of like get away from that and just try and find that fire again and set targets and have a different challenge. The prospect of winning trophies as well, did that really draw you in? Yeah, massively, especially how well the lads have done this season since Steve has been in. It's something that, like I mentioned before, being a part of the history, doing something special would be amazing to be involved in. When you talk about the manager, how much of an influence did he have? Would you be here without him? Yeah, obviously a big influence because obviously ex-teammate and stuff like that. Someone who I've always admired and respected. And yeah, a massive influence. He's obviously a young manager. His enthusiasm is amazing. He wants to do well. Like me, obviously wants to be a part of the history and create something special. But even before Stevie, to be honest, I've always known the size of this club and the support, special football fans. And I'm looking forward to it, yeah. Will it be difficult going from being his teammate to having him as your manager? How do you think that dynamic's going to work? It'll probably be a little bit strange. I had it obviously a little bit with Eddie. Obviously when I was on loan at Bournemouth when I was really young, only for a few months. But I think with this, it'd probably be a lot different. Obviously my time with England with Stevie. But I mean, you just got to get on with it and just try and do the best that you can and try and bring something positive to the team. How much have you missed your football this season? So much, but it's been tough. And I think it's been more tough because I think at this stage in my career where one of the senior players at the club when I was at Bournemouth, it's obviously there's certain ways you've got to conduct yourself and part of the leadership group, and you've got to try and help the younger players and stuff like that. When at times it was difficult, where you come into training and you're sort of like you're a little bit upset because you haven't played, but you've got to sort of like not pretending that, but you've got to just try and focus on the team probably more than yourself. When all you want to do is play football, I'm used to playing football, so it was tough, not playing and not even getting minutes. I think it was probably the first time in my career where there was times where I wouldn't even come on. Where I always felt like even if I haven't started games, I always felt like I could come on and change and make an impact, and for whatever reason, it wasn't happening. So obviously decided to move.
Are you confident you can do some damage in the Scottish League?
I hope so. I think, get myself fit, match fit, because obviously I haven't played. I think once I get myself match fit, then hopefully I can get a lot of goals.
A few of the boys have come up from England and been surprised by the standard of the league. Are you prepared to be surprised by it?
I hope so. I'm just looking forward to the challenge. And I mentioned before, a different league. I remember I went to the MLS. I went to Toronto, and it was I was surprised with the quality there. It was good, to be honest. I enjoyed it. And just as players, you just like a challenge. I love a challenge, and I'm looking forward to the games. And all the games are so big because we're trying to stay at the top of the league and trying to compete and hopefully win a trophy. So I'm really looking forward to it.
You had a nice welcome. Did you know any of the boys before you came in?
Not really, to be honest. Over the years, played against a couple on that, but not as in know them. Not really. But again, it's like first day at school, isn't it? When you walk in, you got to shake everyone's hands and stuff like that. But even that's exciting, to be honest. That's exciting. Meeting new people, meeting the staff, and it should be good.
Do you take your role that you mentioned being a senior player, do you take that role as a senior player quite seriously? Is that something you want to do here?
Yeah, it's important. I think it's important because at the end of the day, the younger players, they look up to you. And obviously I mentioned about the way you conduct yourself, the way you sort of like, the way you train, whether that's on a pitch or in the gym, the way you recover, the things you eat. And if you can give them all any sort of advice, then I think it's important to do so, yeah.
All right, another potential senior pro in my ranks. I don't think we'll be calling the boss Stevie for much longer.
I don't think so. And by the way, I stand corrected. It wasn't the boys in the lobby have corrected me there. It was in fact an OBE. So yes. My apologies. I said it was MBE. He's actually OBE.
That's all right, Bridge. That's maybe 5 years. That's the first time you've ever been wrong anything, mate.
I know. I get that every day. Can I just ask a question on something?
As long as it's not too hard. Remember, it's
something came up today, and I think my cousin texted me saying something about Dundee are in for McCrory on loan. Do you know anything about that?
Could it be the goalkeeper?
No, it's Ross McCrory.
No chance.
Oh, I don't see that happening.
And I think it's to do with this deal for Kamara. And Ross McCrory's, to me, by the look of him, he's playing in a far bigger team. And he's in the team now, but look at him, and he's playing really well for us. I don't see what we'd want to see.
No, they might be chancing that Adam Bridge.
To me, I said this last night, get them away, keep them away from Ibrox. The deal's done. The deal's done.
McCrory's a first-team player for us. It's as simple as that.
I've not seen that anywhere.
I think you're going to see. I don't know. Maybe the guys in the lobby. I'm sure it's. I'm sure somebody said it was in the Rebel or something like that. But we'll see.
And you've been getting the same parish news that Travel Rug's been getting.
All right. Well, Travel might know something about it.
Anyway, if people want to join us, give their thoughts on Jermain or Stephen Davis. There's some similarities there. What's the number, Bridge?
The number's 0141356 1972.
And where else can they join us, Rudy?
They can join us on Skype at rangersradio.online. If you've been in before, Fox will bring you straight out of the call. If not, it'll sort you out, but in a nice way.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen with Skype in the future, so you want to be part of the show, do yourself a favour and get Skype installed in your phone. I can do it. Anybody can do it. So, some similarities there. I know the interviews, Travel. Both not been in the team as much as they like. Both experienced pros, played at the top level, caps for their country, been successful. But Jermain's in for something like he's never experienced before, mate. Pressure,
Yes. he appears to have been a very good professional through his.
No denying that, mate. But this is different, mate. This is different. This is different. This is the squeaky bum time. He's no been at he's no went for championships before. Stephen Davis has.
No, I'm not talking about that side. I'm talking about the way that he carries himself, the way that he looks after himself. He's a professional. He's never achieved any real success, in a silverware type of thing. I don't think anybody can deny the ability that he's got and that he's shown throughout his career. I'm confident that Jermain Defoe is going to come up here and make a difference for us. You've got to watch. There's been big name players have came, and particularly the ones that I can think about was the ones that the Rotters signed. The Robbie Keane and even the other Keane one, when he came up, they were all getting so excited about them, but they were failures when they came up here. I don't have that feeling about Jermain Defoe. I think there's still a hunger there with Jermain Defoe, and I think that'll be, and I think we're going to bear the fruit of that. I'd like to see him getting a medal. As I say, I'm expecting it and hoping it's going to be at Ibrox 3-4 weeks before the end of the season.
I've booked my flights because of what you've predicted, mate. So if you get it right, I'll be coming looking for you.
I've got a caravan you can use if you're needing it.
You park it in the Barton Road. Jermain Defoe, great interview, comes across as a thoroughly decent guy, knows what the game's all about. This is going to be a wee bit different for him, but
listen, I think any player that comes up here, if we're down south or for anywhere else for that matter, and comes into the goldfish bowl that is the Old Firm environment, I don't think you can ever explain to a player what that feels like or what it entails until you actually get here. I don't think there's a proper understanding. I can't remember who it was now, but I remember a couple of seasons ago somebody mentioning that a player that had come in and said he'd heard all about it, he'd watched the games, he'd heard all about it, and people at the club had explained to him, but not until he actually experienced it could he get a proper sort of grasp of what was involved. And I think Jermain Defoe's going to experience that when he gets here, and he starts getting out there, pulling his strip on front of 50,000 bears, But the whole environment, living in the city, if he does live in the city, which he will obviously, while he's here, the scrutiny by the media, scrutiny by the bears for that matter, never mind the media. It's a huge difference to playing down south. I mean, or anywhere else probably for that matter. It's a world all in its own, really. But I think he'll adapt to it. He's got huge amounts of experience. I don't really see it being a problem. I just want him to get up and running. He mentioned match fitness. I want him to get up and running and get his match fitness as soon as possible, and hopefully we'll see the best of him, because the boy has kept himself fit. I think, can't remember who it was that said the other day, he's got the body of a player half his age, apparently, of fitness.
That must have been Travel Rugged said that.
He doesn't drink either, apparently, and he's kept himself really, really fit. It's just his march sharpness because he hasn't played much football, I think it's a fantastic signing, because I don't doubt that Jermain Defoe could have went, they've
done our offers. It's the Stevie Gerrard effect, and let's be honest.
That's exactly what it is, Ox. And we got him, and as I said, it's a real coup for us to get him, He could have went elsewhere, but he didn't. He came to us. And the sooner he gets up and running, gets his match fitness, brilliant.
I noticed the both said that they both want minutes under their belt. That suggests to me that potentially the two of them could play on Friday night. And
the cup game against County. Aye, well, but then you also have, I think it was Bridgeman brought up the fact the other night, some of the cluggers that Cowdenbeath I'm sure it'll be industrial style football from Cowdenbeath. I wouldn't expect them to come out and try and play football against us. So I don't know, is Cowdenbeath a game to chuck them in? I think I possibly would chuck them in, because they need to get up and running quickly, and the only way for them to do that, as far as their match sharpness is concerned, is to get game time on the park. It's as simple as that. And whether it's Kelly next week or whether it's cow and beef this week, it's neither here nor there. It's a football match, and for me, they've got to play to get the minutes into their legs.
Yeah, they need to get the minutes in. Obviously, there's a lack of match fitness, as Rudy said there. It has to be there. They need minutes, lots of minutes. So as many games as possible that are, shall we say, non-league. So that the friendly that's coming up, they might find they're in there. So it's anything at all to get minutes into their legs and see how they react to it. Let's hope that within a month or so they're bang on up to it. So they're probably physically fit as they're ever going to be, but they need the match fitness in. So it's time. It's time on the park.
Yeah.
Too sugar for me, Bridge.
That's not me. It's not me. That's Rudy Bear. She's coming in with the dinner. Supper for Rudy.
No, I wasn't hearing a wee bell when Rudy's getting his supper.
Ding, ding. Rudy, dinner's out.
Dinner is served.
Dinner is served.
Oh, you never told us what you had for your dinner tonight, Rudy.
Oh, I had a mixed grill tonight, Bridget. It was magic.
Mixed grill.
Any lamb cutlets in there? Any lamb cutlets in there?
There was no lamb cutlets, no, but it was a lovely big mixed grill. Had some homemade chips, had some peas, and I had some onion rings and breaded mushrooms.
Oh, yeah. Did she make that for you?
She certainly did. Well, I think
you're wasted, boy.
When you say, wait a minute, mixed grill, right? So what did you have? What did I
have? I had sausage, I had fried liver, I had gammon steak, and I had a nice bit of steak. Lovely.
Oh,
you ate it all?
No, I certainly did. Whatever. Let's put it this way: there was no leftovers, mate.
Oh, brilliant, pal. Brilliant.
You know what I'm saying? No leftovers.
You've got to admire the boy counting his points at January, on that.
I love it. Just love it.
Travel. I think the two of them will play on Friday night there, yeah. I'm going to say it.
I hope so. I hope so. I'm gone, so it'd be good to see the two of them. So, but that's it's important we start to get minutes in for them. But I'll get back to where we kind of started earlier on the game at Rugby Park. I'd quite happily just go out with the same team. Don't think we shouldn't underestimate these two next league games. Both of them on plastic surfaces. We struggled through at Livingston earlier in the season. These are going to be two hard games that we need to come out of. And I would like to think if we come out of there with 6 points, that could just be the thing that kicks us on. I think in the next 8 or 9 games, I really think that we need to be having at least 8 wins and a draw, certainly remaining unbeaten during that period. We can't, I think Rudy wasn't mentioned earlier on, we can't afford to be dropping silly wee points here and there. We need to go on a run, and that starts with the first 2 league games, which are arguably are our hardest games because they're going to play on the surface. Kilmarnock are flying. Livy were doing well. They just kind of came off the boil a wee bit. I think it's important these next 2 league games are we give it all we've got in these games. The Cowdenbeath game, important as it is, that I think that will take care of itself. But we really need to kick on for the first 2 league games back. Yeah. Lay another marker down, as Andy Halliday likes to tell us.
I mean, obviously you've got to. It's the next game, but the next 2 games, because of the surface, we might look at them a bit different, Rudy.
Aye, well, maybe as well to go with, as Travel says, as far as Kelly's concerned, maybe you should go with the same team who's already played on these surfaces, maybe not performed so well on them, but at least I've had experience of playing on them. Stephen Davis and Jermain Defoe, possibility. I don't know. I dread when we come to play in these plastic pitches because I really don't think we perform that well on them. But then there's also the injury factor for me as well. We've lost players in the past because of plastic pitches. And for me, it's a case of I kind of dread it because I'm thinking we don't want to lose any of our top players on these daft pitches, you know.
Interested, we played Kilmarnock already at Railway Park. I know we played them in the Cup. We played them in the league.
No.
So that's the first time we got to Railway Park in the league.
Yeah.
So we're going to potentially go there after the break then.
Yeah, possibly.
We've played them in the league down there.
I think the thing about Kilmarnock as well is, you know,
this season, Bridge.
The boy Stewart's gone back as well, hasn't he? You know, the boy Stewart's gone back as well. He's way back in Birmingham, isn't he? I think. You know, so he's had such a good first half of the season for them. And I'm not so sure that Jordan Jones will start against us, you know, depending what happens between now and Wednesday, obviously, with Jordan Jones. I don't think Jordan Jones will start against us. For me, that's two of their top players. You know, I think both of them are good players. Certainly as far as they're concerned, two of their top players. But it's just that plastic pitch. I just worry about these pitches. I really do. I can't help myself. I just, you know, I hate to see us playing on them.
You there, Bridge?
Yeah, can you hear me, pal?
I'm just checking all the fixtures. I've only played Kilmarnock once so far in the league.
Aye, that's right. Yep.
Wow, how's that?
Played them at Ibrox and we drew, didn't we?
Oh, does that mean we've actually got a game in hand?
No, I think it's just the way the fixtures are fell.
Oh, right. I do apologise. I was thinking that's us at halfway stage of the season, so we're not quite there yet then.
No.
This will be the last game of the season then for us, yeah?
And that was my
halfway through, like, you know.
I have to go back to Railway Park after the
right, okay, we've got that's the second. I do apologise, guys. So apologies for that. I'm thinking it's halfway through. We've got to play because we played. Oh, never mind. We're at the 22nd game. That's correct. Rugby Park's at. I see it now. Thank you for correcting.
That's all right, Bridge. We're used to it. Listen, we've heard from Stephen Davis and we've heard from Jermain Defoe. Obviously, the man that's been the catalyst to help bring maybe Defoe in. I don't think maybe so much Stephen Davis, but might have helped. It's been our manager. He gave an interview on Sunday telling the world, telling the Rangers supporters how well the trip went. So if you don't mind getting your cell phone mute, we'll hear from our manager, Stephen Gerrard, MBE Bridge. Get yourself in mute, lads.
Well, first and foremost, obviously we've signed a couple of new faces, so I think in terms of integrating them and for them to get comfortable, and I think it's very important. It's another good chance for us all to reset and regroup, and obviously analyse the first 6 months of the season, and really look forward to where we need to improve, how we're going to grow more, and also set our sights firmly on our targets. So, very important week. The team spirit's very good. The training's going well. I think physically and mentally, the team and the squad certainly needed the break. We did as a staff as well, because it had been non-stop since I think it was June the 15th when we came back. 38 games in total. It's almost like a full season crammed into 6 months. So, we were all running on empty in December, and I think that showed in some of our results and our performances. We conceded a couple of late goals, and without being blaming anything, you do look at the amount of games and the tiredness, mental fatigue, and maybe that was the case. So the timing was perfect. We give the players a week off to have family time and really recover. And this week's about building them back up and really pushing them physically again to get that base for the second half of the season.
How important is it to get the load right for each individual out here, or did they all do the same amount of work really?
No, obviously the priority is the team, so it'll always be based around the team. The sessions will be based around the team and the squad and trying to evolve that way. But we do realise that people are in different situations. Some are coming back from injury. Some in, for example, Tav and Connor, who've played every single game, they won't need as much physical work as, say, maybe a Jordan Rossiter, or someone who hasn't played as many games, maybe like a Lee Wallace. So certain players need pushing more than others. And that's how we try and we tailor it around individual needs. But the main thing is the team, and it's all about the team.
Yeah, you mentioned Jermain Defoe and Stephen Davis there, of course, and the fact that they seem to have integrated into the group so quickly. That must be very pleasing for you as a manager.
Yeah, well, they've got unbelievable quality on the football pitch. We knew that was not going to be a worry for us. We knew they were two good people and two good professionals, so we knew the box was ticked there. The key thing for us is for them to get used to the teammates, used to the patterns of play and how we want to play, get them up to speed that way. The important thing is for us to build them up physically as well. So they're not super match fit because they haven't played many games. They're fit and they're able to train, but we want to get them up to speed with the rest of the group because the rest of this group are very fit. We've showed that for 6 months. It's been one of our strengths, is really showing energy for 90 minutes. So when we get Jermain and Stephen up to speed, they'll be two really big pluses in this squad.
Yeah. Has the session so far, has it given you an opportunity to maybe think about how they may well fit into your team?
Yeah, we've tried certain things. The way we play, Jermain gives us the option of obviously playing two up front. Whether that be in a 4-4-2 or 4-diamond, 2-3-5-2, it gives us that luxury. Kyle also does that. We can go with a target man and a smaller guy around them. Ryan Hardy's come into the picture, so it has been nice to work with 4 quality forwards. We haven't had that luxury. That's been really nice and a big positive. In terms of Stephen, I think he'll take to a duck to water because he's the type of midfielder that we like. Very similar to a Scott Arfield in many ways. He can play as a 10, he can play as an 8, he can play as a 6. So I think it'll be a lot more smoother for Stephen. When we use Jermain, if we use him with another forward, everyone else maybe have to adapt and evolve. But it's so exciting to have the option because we haven't really had that. We've only really had 1 or 2 ways of playing, and we've tended to stick with that.
Yeah, we spoke to Gary McAllister yesterday actually just about the midfield area against Celtic, how impressed he was with the performances. And when you add someone like Stephen Davis to that, it's pretty mouth-watering. Yeah,
quality. Someone who never hides, always wants to take the ball. Someone who can make things happen in the final third. He can score important goals. He plays like a leader. He leads his country, which is good. We want as many leaders throughout the 11 and the 18 as possible. So we're delighted to have him, and he'll be a major help to us.
And another pleasing factor is to see the likes of Graham Dorrans and Jamie Murphy out here as well, and seeing them around the place with a smile on their face.
That was the idea and the reason why we brought them. They are part of the bigger picture. It's important that they keep progressing in terms of their injuries. Obviously, Jamie's going to be longer than Graham, but we're all, got our fingers crossed. We know the 2 good players. They'll make us even stronger again. But we're all sitting here hoping that they can get to the stage where they're available for selection. With all due respect, at the moment they're no use to me, so I need to be able to rely on them people. But for them to do that, they need to get themselves fit and available.
Yeah, and obviously at the halfway point of the season, when you look back at the progress that has been made so far this season, must be really, really pleased.
Yeah, I'm delighted. I mean, I think in terms of the European run, we punched above our weight and probably exceeded expectation if you compare it to 12 months ago. In terms of the league, we're obviously in a healthy position on the back of a really important Old Firm win, but looking back and analysing it, there's still areas where we can get better, where we can improve. We have dropped silly points at times. We've had a few bumps and setbacks along the way, which I expected and which I predicted. But moving forward, the less of them, the better. And look, it's all to play for. The important thing for us is to focus on the next 3 points. But I'm not going to sit here and lie. We have got targets in-house that we all want to go and achieve, and that's the way it should be at a big club.
Yeah. And how important is it to build on that Celtic performance and to really maintain those standards, which is obviously going to be the challenge from now until May?
Of course. I mean, look, we play in Old Firms 4 times a year in the league, sometimes 5, 6, depending on what the cup draws bring. But for me, I say to the team, we're playing against the competition every single week. So whether you're playing against a rival in Celtic or it's in Aberdeen, we're competing against these games every single game. So if we're playing a team at the bottom of the league, we have to have the same mentality, the same spirit. We have to give the same application, because you get out of who you play at the bottom of the league exactly the same as the front. The 3 points against St Mirren, for example, are just as important as Celtic. So let's have the same mentality for every single game. That's my motto.
What a man. Bridgeman.
He's just marvellous, isn't he? Look, we're under no illusions. We said earlier, it's his first job in management, and it's a huge job for him. Huge job. And I'm quite sure that he'll make small mistakes here and there. Let's hope it's only small mistakes. And it's just a case of picking it up and run with it. As far as I'm concerned, he has been fabulous for us. And hopefully he'll continue to be fabulous for us and for himself. What an asset we've got. What an asset. And as far as the media is concerned, they just love him. They just love him. It's incredible. Incredible.
Rudy?
No, he's fantastic. Absolutely delighted to have him here. You can hear it, the guy's been talking to the media since he was a kid, basically. He knows how to deal with media and stuff like that, and when he gets asked a question, he answers it and he answers it properly. There's no shilly-shallying with him, and he thinks along the same lines that we do, lots of stuff, almost everything he says, we just think the same thing he does. So he doesn't try and flannel us in any way. He knows there's areas that we need to brush up on. Hopefully they're working on that for the second half of the season. He's just fantastic, I just absolutely love it. I used to see Pedro, I'm not being funny here, Ox, but see with Pedro, I know we don't want to keep going back to that, but I would literally sit behind the couch sometimes waiting him coming out with something, I'd be watching him through my fingers and pressers and stuff like that. You're never going to get that with Steven Gerrard. He's too wise, knows too much.
I'm going to tell you a wee secret, Rudy, that I never told you before.
What's that, mate?
I agreed with you, but I couldn't say everything I thought of Pedro.
Yeah. Well, you're not going to get that with Steven Gerrard.
No.
You hear him, every time you hear him talk, he's just absolute class, so he is,
You know what I would have done with Pedro after a few weeks, mate? I told you that at the time,
Certainly did, mate. You certainly did.
It just was a good fit for us. It was a gamble we took at Medline, that's all I'll say. But Travel Rug, class individual, knows where he's gone, knows how he's going to get there, this man.
Yes, and we're enjoying the journey so far, aren't we? So I think that that game on the 29th, I know he was disappointed after the Hibs game, but he coordinated players. That was a great piece of management, coming out and saying, I'll be going in there and asking him who's up for this, who's ready for this next game, and that was it. Started. And I think the Hibs game, both the Hibs games were probably quite disappointing because we should have got more out the games than we did, and I think the manager knows that. But we were.
It's not one big Hibs, mate. Come on, let's be honest about it.
No, but we were running on empty, and your man that you spoke about earlier, Harfield was such a big miss, wasn't he? So. But for him to go in there and then say to the players, because after the second Hibs game, I'm thinking the boys looked absolutely drained. We're going to really struggle against this lot. But he went and shirked him a wee bit, and he's asked for that commitment. And you know yourself, when I'm working with people, if it's somebody that I respect. It makes my job a bit more enjoyable, working with people that I expect, that I know can do the job or have done the job or experienced it. And that must be the same for these players, to be able to stand there and look eye to eye. I mean, we spoke about Andy Halliday there, the way that Steven Gerrard speaks about him, saying how he loves having him in the team and he's unofficial captain and all that. Imagine Steven Gerrard saying that, but that must just be such a boost itself for these players. So it's great having him as our manager, and as I spoke about earlier on, for Steven Gerrard to begin to negotiate with the board, that's fantastic. When Steven Gerrard's going to speak to players' potential signings, unbelievable. And even that, if there's a young talent that's gone, could you imagine Steven Gerrard turning up at the young boy's house to meet the family to say, we really want you to come to Ibrox?
Can you imagine if Steven Gerrard turned at your house to mess you up?
Don't start.
At your caravan.
Oh, he's welcome to it.
No, the man is just wonderful. And if you think about it, Ox, yeah. So,
we still wouldn't get off with these mixed grill if we told them
no matter who he is. But if you think about it, guys, and with all hope, but in my heart is this, that if he gets us to the win the league this year. My God, what a season he's had. Where's he going to end up? Just fantastic. Just to think about it, it's maybe too far ahead for me, of course. But if he ever gets us to win that league this season, it'll just be unbelievable. And there's a lot of guys believe he will. A lot of guys believe he will.
If Travel will send you that text, mate, with all the who's going to drop where, he's plotted it out. He's done it.
I love it. I love it. But seriously, it's just feeling sort of still high after the Celtic game, to be perfectly honest with you. And the break where we didn't have our show here, and there's very little news about the Rangers particularly anyway. Just a lot of rubbish about them. It's just fantastic. We're back and we've got a game to look forward to come the weekend. Just brilliant.
I think the thing about it is the 29th's gone. We've got to go win 3 or 4 on Friday night. Win well, play well, keep the ball. Hopefully no injuries. Have a wee bounce game on Sunday. Give people minutes. And then we're ready for Wednesday night, and we get there like we did in the Old Firm game. Doesn't matter who we pick, who the team is, but if the 11 chosen get with that attitude, we'll beat Kilmarnock, Rudy Bear.
We'll not go far wrong, no matter who we play, if we play like we did in the 29th. But like you say, Ox, that's gone now. We thoroughly enjoyed it. We're still enjoying it. We can keep looking back at it and watching it and everything, and the excitement's still there. But it's not just about the win. It's about the performance. The performance that day was absolutely first class and the best performance of the season so far for me. But that's got to continue now. As I said earlier, we can't start dropping daft points the way we did in the first half of the season away from home. That's got to stop now. The quality of the player that we've brought in, hopefully it will sort that out. And they've got to take huge amounts of confidence. Beating the Tims was only 3 points, but it proved to them how well they can actually play. So they've got to take a huge amount of confidence for that result. So they really have.
Rudy, the attitude was right. I think the players have already proved to us this season that they've had the ability, because we've had cracking performances, particularly in Europe.
That's right.
But the attitude was right.
It was all
that's a big difference.
All about attitude on the day, Travel. There was one team wanted that game, wanted their 3 points, and it was the boys in blue that day. They were phenomenal. Their attitude was from front to back. Their attitude was absolutely phenomenal. But that's got to be an attitude that they have to carry through into games, because as Stephen Gerrard says, playing St Mirren and getting the 3 points off them is the same as playing the Tims and beating them and getting 3 points. 3 points is just 3 points, and you have to collect as many as possible. And with that attitude and the skill of the team, the skill of the players that we've got, the quality of player that we've got, we won't go far wrong by come the end of the season to keep that up.
Here, Rudy. Here, pal.
I think that was a great word you used there. Attitude there, Travel. In football at any level, if you go on the park with the wrong attitude, you can struggle.
I need it.
Because you're in a league, so there's no miles between the teams. But so if your attitude's poor, you can be made to look. I'm not saying foolish, but you can trip up where you shouldn't trip up, and. The most disappointing game for me this season, it was the away game against Dundee. I thought we were very poor against their 10 men.
I thought Livingston, Ox. I thought that was a dreadful.
I forgot about that, but I'm still going to go with Dundee because Livingston, that was bad and all.
Yeah.
That was bad, but the Dundee one, because they played that long with 10 men, mate, was sort of
yeah.
And we got the goal right for the set piece when they went down to 10 men, so.
That's right.
You're thinking, we could go and win this 5 or 6, and she's over the 2-1 at the end, You're right about the Livingston defeat. That was a poor performance, poor as well. Yeah. The attitude's got to be right, Bridgeman, as you've always said, mate.
Absolutely. But I think the manager's doing his job very well, and it's up to the players now to see it through. He's bringing in the particularly 2 experienced boys. And as he said, they're not 100% match fit, and we're no daft. We expect that. But when he gets them up to even a 75% match fit, there'll be a huge bonus, even around the club, even around all the players, being part of the whole process. Be great for a great experience and they'll bring a lot of the guys on. That's what I want. I want them to bring the other players on as well. I'm so looking forward to seeing my team. Obviously, I won't see them on Friday night other than the TV, but I'll be there on Sunday. We'll see what happens on Sunday. Maybe we score 1 or 2 goals. Looking forward to that.
I look forward to it. Just quickly, just change the subject and keep it brief, your answers. What is your view on this winter break? Do you think it's the right thing to do for the Scottish football? I don't mean as an individual, for you as an individual, because I've missed the football, but do you think it's the right thing to do? And now they're talking about the weather coming in again and the Friday snow coming in. Rudy?
Well, they're talking about the end of this week, aren't they? You know, we're going to get battled with a bit of snow. I don't know what. I mean, you can, as far as the winter break's concerned, you can move it to February, March, and you can still get battled with snow in Scotland, you know. So I don't think the time of the year matters as such. I hate it because there's no football, right? So that's like yourself, Ox, you know, I miss the football. But the thing for me is, I think we got to a point where we were starting to look jaded up until the 29th. We were starting to look jaded in a couple of games, you know. And I think it probably came at the right time for us. You look at the amount of games we'd played up to that point, you know, the 14-game run in Europe as well, you know. It was a hell of an amount of games just up to the end of the year. So it probably came at the right time. I think in general for Scottish football, it's I don't know. I think it's probably a good thing, simply for the fact, not from my point of view as a fan wanting to see my team play, but for the point of view of getting players fit who might be carrying. I mean, you've got Connor Goldson, for instance, who had to take an injection. Ryan Kent, Scotty Arfield had in the morning of the 29th at 10 o'clock in the morning, had fitness tests and stuff like that, you know. So it allows you to get these players back, hopefully, you know, players that's maybe lacking a wee bit of fitness. It lets them work on their fitness without having the pressure of having to think about playing games, you know, playing football. So from an unselfish point of view, it's probably a good thing.
All right. Well answered, mate. Bridgeman?
I have to agree to a certain extent with Rudy there, so far as being able to get our players fit, get a bit of sun in their back and do what they need to do. I know they were getting trained quite hard, some of them, you know. So it's sort of, how can I say that? It's double standard, it's double entendre, if you follow what I mean. They're there and they're getting everything. We're sitting here and I'm desperately keen to see my team. And I would love them to be here. The weather here wasn't that bad for the last couple of weeks. So we could, in fact, have had 2 games in by now. But like, if we benefited getting injured players on the road back in again, and the players we brought in the door have managed to get a sort of, was it 7 days warm weather training? So it can't be bad that way. Although I'm speaking purely for myself, and I'm being very greedy, I would rather they were here and they played football, so I could go and see them.
At least you're honest, Bruce. At least you're honest.
I don't consider the winter break as a break from the weather, because that, just as Rudy had said, it's a total lottery, and when the weather could hit us. So, on the face of it, it looks as if it came at a very good time for us. But I think I don't think I'd like to commit to an answer as usual on this until maybe even the end of the season, but certainly 6 weeks' time, whether the winter break's probably has been any good for us, because it's hard to tell whether we're going to get kicked back on. But on the face of it, I think we needed it. We needed it more than most of the other teams in Scotland, that's for sure. Just purely by the number of games. On a personal level, I had a right touch during the winter break there. So as you know, I've been on a wee bit of a fitness regime after my health scare, and I'm getting back down to my fighting weight. So I went up to the loft and got all my fitness strips done and got all my old Rangers strips. And I've got strips there, the original strips from years ago. And I tell you, I must have spent 2 hours, everyone on.
Stitching them all together so they could fit you.
I tell you, it was fantastic. I've got ones with McCoist on the back, and I've got Amaruso on the back. And I'll tell you something just now, with Mr. Gerrard's fitting in here, I might be getting Gerrard on the back of one of my next strips if that's the case. If he can deliver us what we're hoping for and he keeps doing what he's doing, he'll get that accolade of being on the back of one of my strips. No other player has really done it since Big Lorenzo. That might just be
I thought you could always go, well, some of our ex-managers and get Wallace on your back.
So I've got the original orange NTL one. That's been put on a hanger and up in my wardrobe now. That's how much I'm looking forward to.
2003 was that strip?
Eh?
Was it 2003 that one came out?
I think it was, aye, but that's...
I can't believe you were still buying strips in your 50s.
Yeah, listen, I'm 46-year-old and I'm still buying them. Don't you worry about that. It's never going to stop. I actually thought that my boy would eventually get these strips, but now that I'm getting back...
Who's doing the typing?
It's not me.
I know you can't type.
So aye. This getting back down to my teenage size is it's fantastic getting into the old strips again. My wife just thought I was off my nut.
I can't believe you were that size when you were so young.
Oh, she's a seen strips and shorts and socks and everything on ours.
Full kit travel, eh?
Oh, fantastic!
Brilliant. Fair play to you, mate.
What did the wee fella say to you?
Oh, he's too busy killing somebody on Fortnite or chasing some transvestite on Grand Theft Auto. He wasn't interested.
Oh dear. Well, we'll see what it takes us. Business so far, 4 players in, 2 on loan, 2 pre-contract, economics, great. Where it's going to work in football terms, only time will tell, Rudy Bear.
Gordon Waddle was doing his best the other day there. It's the Davis and the 2 loans for Davis, and Defoe was doing his best, trying to make it sound like it was negative, as he usually does. I can't see any negativity to bringing Stephen Davis.
Not at the moment, I can't see that.
You get to the end of the season, and and if he's had as good a half season as we're all hoping he's going to have, you still get the opportunity to sign him at the end of the season, just like we did with Jamie Murphy. And where's the negativity in bringing Defoe in an 18-month loan deal? It's fantastic. I'm thoroughly delighted with it. Really looking forward to seeing them getting up and running. I don't know. I've still got this funny feeling that we're not finished yet, Ox. I think we'll possibly see another 1 or 2 coming in by the end of the transfer window.
Who do you think, Rudy?
I think we might find a centre back coming in, Ox.
Oh, please! It wouldn't be 6'5", would it?
Well, that's exactly what you're hoping for.
Left-footed, please.
Left-footed 6'5" centre backs. I think possibly we'll see a centre back coming.
Does anybody have the fear that wee O'Neill's going to just step in the last day of the window and say, right, I'm taking the big
recall Worrell.
Worrell back?
Well, I said that last night, guys. I did say that last night, but it was just a off-the-cuff thing because he's just bad enough to do that. However, I really don't know if he would do it, so I don't know if it would make any difference to him.
If there's even a possibility, then hopefully, Mark Allen, Stephen Gerrard will discuss that. And as I said, there's a possibility we might see another set coming in. Let's
be really honest about it. Up to the 28th of December, if that happened, maybe we'd have shed many tears, wouldn't we? Come on, let's be honest about it. Travel.
No, but I don't want to see any player gone. I want to keep as strong a squad as we possibly can. And if it means that we're going a wee bit top heavy on some positions, I'm not really fussed, because for a while there, during that December period, we were struggling. There were certain positions where guys were having to play out a position, and I don't want to be that. So I know you're all trying to chase Lee Wallace. I'd quite happily keep him now to the end of the season. Another player, it's just another body that can maybe become useful at some stage during the season. Rossiter.
Do you know what I'm going to say something, mate? See, if they happen to win the league, I'd be delighted for Lee Wallace to be part of it, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
No, even though look, I think Lee Wallace has been he comes across as a great guy, but I just never thought he was Rangers class. But that was my opinion long before the journey started. But as far as a character's concerned, I would love him to be on the park when Or no, maybe be on the party it when if we did manage to win the league.
Yeah, I think he deserves that.
Qualify that way. You're saying he's Rangers class. Maybe that's on the field, but I don't think the guy.
As a guy, you can't.
No, exactly. And as a representative of the club, that should never be considered called into question. I think
he's a really good club captain.
He's all right if the game starts.
No, he's a really good club captain. Ambassadorial role, very, very good.
I mean,
quality.
He had a purple patch for the first 6 months at Warburton was there. You know,
he did well. He romped up and down the left. The left wing did very well for us. But
players come and go, and I just think Leeds had a good career, and he's at our club for a long time. I don't think he'd ever been there as long if what happened hadn't happened, mate. Because I just never thought he was quite good enough for us. We took a chance, and it just never worked. And he got to stay. It's only my opinion. Longer than they might have done if it hadn't happened, but. Wish him all the success, and I wouldn't hear a bad word said about him as an individual, because I think he always.
It's 7 or 8 years now, isn't it?
2011, he signed. 2011.
I do agree with you. I would rather he stayed on, insofar as the role, even as club captain for me, he's there. I think he's done really well for us as a club captain, ambassadorial wise. As far as the football, well, we know he hasn't played. Hardly kicked a ball really in anger for more than a year, so it's very difficult to say what do you expect from him. I don't think he would get a regular game in our team.
Kicked a ball in 2 years, mate.
I'm saying that you don't think he would get a game in our team, certainly not a regular one. He would need to go some to sort of to keep Halliday out of the position, and no even counting Barisic, and I don't think he would ever get a game again. But I do hope his tenure ends with Rangers, and I hope he gets a rousing cheerio for the Rangers fans, because he deserves it.
I don't even see him, Bridgeman, getting a game ahead of Flanagan either.
I don't see it at all.
He's so far out of the picture, unfortunately, you know. But I, like everybody else, I wish him all the best come the end of the season, you know, wherever he goes and whatever he does. I'm sure, you know, I don't think he'll struggle to get another contract somewhere. I think he'll do all right at it come the end of the season. I wish him all the best, you know, like Travel. You know, I'd
probably saying the same about Andy Halliday a year ago.
And well, I think the difference is there. Andy Halliday's proved he could do it for us this season. Unfortunately, you know,
Lee Wallace hasn't had that
injuries. He's not had the chance. Travel, right? You know, but anyway, I don't know. We'll see. I wish him all the best, and you know, if he goes at the end of the season, I wish him all the best. I have no ill feeling against him whatsoever. Just wish him all the best.
And I suppose when he leaves, that means you don't need to come on the show anymore. And that's always a bonus. You know what I mean?
You don't have nothing to talk about.
Oh, I can talk about loads, mate. I've only just started. Right, gentlemen, we've reached that time of the evening. I don't know where it's went. It was great travel. Rudy, brilliant, mate. Bridgeman.
Oh, what can you say? Well, another wonderful night on Rangers Radio. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Guys in the lobby are on fire as well. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans and our wee Rangers radio station here, every single one of us, keep it going for the Rangers, please, because the Rangers are going to need us. Keep it going.
Just to let you know, the pyjamas were out of Marks and Spencer's Bridge.
The old M&S faithfuls.
Yes, that's what they were. Yes, M&S. Can I thank yourself, Bridge, Rudy Bear and Travel Rug for taking the time to join us here at Rangers Radio. Thank Fox and All School Blue behind the scenes doing the technicals. Everybody who's took part in the lobby. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 11 talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, lads.
Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay.
Won't you come and cheer us? Help the boys along. White and blue, coming through with a song. Oh, Rangers, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. Football is the game that we play all over the world. Rangers, Rangers, easy, okay. Look out, everyone, we're on our way. We can show the world how to play, for we are Rangers, okay. We'll be there to do it.